Sorry, I'm lost in the chat at the moment, just having a bit of a Monty Python reminisce. Everyone quoting the film. For me, that scene is, I want Princess Lucky to look upon me as her own dad in a very real and legally binding sense. You can't beat a bit of Monty Python, just like you can't beat Christian from Grantham.
Let's give it up big time. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Now let's get cracking.
But father, I'd rather sing. Okay, first off, Patreons who saw last night, we've started to do the gremlin head. And I did all of that detail inside the mouth, only for it to be closed up forever. So obviously we can't see anything's in there. Obviously the gremlin's not this green colour. It's going to be a lot darker than this. This was just a primer. And I've got to fill in the gaps just along the side and a little bit underneath there as well. But that's pretty much what we were doing on the Patreon stream last night. And I'm coughing. I think it's because I've been flocking. I've been sitting here on my own again, flocking away at that chair that fell to bits last time I had a flocking attempt. This time the flocking attempts worked well, and the flocking's actually stuck to it. So I've only got 2 sides of the chair left to do. And then we got pretty much a gremlin, which is almost ready to paint completely, and a chair. And I don't think it's going to take long to do Gizmo and the popcorn at all. So he's not dead. The reflocking went well. I would love to get the flocking adhesive that you've got in America, but obviously, as you know, I couldn't bring that along on the plane. They won't let you take solvents on a plane, and I can't get it posted out to me for the same reason. We've got nothing like that out here, Lou. Now, if I was to put a real thick, gloopy sort of paint on it, a bit like a Vallejo model colour, I'm thinking that might do the same thing as well. But because I did the tried and tested PVA with the time machine, that's what I've decided to do. So it's working a lot better now, but it's all in bits at the moment. The thing I am doing, though, is I'm leaving it for a good 4 days so that PVA can soak through and just create a real strong bond on there. But yes, I've been having a flocking time here at the moment. An enamel paint would do. I didn't even think about an enamel paint. See, the problem is, Lou, in my workshop, I've got lacquer paints, acrylic paints, and spray paints. I haven't got any enamel paints. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've owned an enamel paint since the 80s. Was it the little humble ones in the tin? You used to get your model and the paints would come with it. That's how old back I'm thinking of. So, guten Abend, Wurfelbunker, wie geht es dir? What the flock? If anyone don't know what flocking is, I did it on the time machine. That's where we put that, I don't know what it is, little fibres of cloth on a model to make it look like it's actually got some sort of fabric on it. I want the gremlin to be sitting in a fabricy chair, but it did have an accident. I actually dropped the back piece of the gremlin chair and I cracked it down the middle, but where it glues together, I don't think you'll see the crack at all. So, but yeah, I've been a bit fiddly with my hands lately. I keep dropping things. But while we're talking about fiddly, and how about thick nail polish? Funny you should say that, Lou. I've got a gloss lacquer which I wanted to put on the gremlin, and you know what? I put it on and it just wasn't doing it for me. So I used some top coat nail varnish, and wow, the tongue, and you can't see it now, but it's all got this lovely glisten inside. Top coat, if it's just for a small area, that's my go-to gloss now. If I need something to be really glossy, I'm using the Mrs. Now varnish, even though I don't know if she knows that I've actually got 2 of them in here. I keep, you know, taking them from the supply. Could you flock Gizmo? I don't want to attempt to do that. The reason being, Carl, I was thinking about it, was I was going to put Stripe's hair with fabric that you get from Santa Claus beards, if you know what I mean, and just brush it up. But the actual design of Stripe here, his head... Oh, 1 second. Hello? Okay. Alexa, stop. Mrs. Welder Wayne wants to get in there, doesn't she? She likes going on the Alexa. Hello, Damien and Matilda. I don't know how I've missed a message. I thought I was working down. But Damien, Matilda, if I've missed that, I very, very much apologise. I don't know if my my streams are missing together. But obviously, Stripe's hair goes all the way down his back to about here. And I don't really want to have to keep styling it and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this in a grey. And then I'm going to have a little pearl white on it. And just put some really thin streaks of hair. And then just keep doing that. A monotonous job until it looks like there's hair on his head. But I am enjoying it. I just looking at his smile like that's making me me laugh. It's going to be a good little gremlin, that one is. And then once I finish this, I'll have the confidence to do my American Wealth in London. That'll be the next one that I'm doing. So good to see you at the shop today. Well, I've been at it really early this morning, and I will get through chat, I promise. But at the moment, I need to let you know that tomorrow, there was no video today because of what I was working on today. We're going to have the finished Leopard tank. Now, a lot of people have been saying they've had problems with their Leopard tank. I did a search on YouTube to find someone who's actually finished Pack 12 and showing it working, and I can't find any videos at all. So I'm thinking my one's probably going to be the first video. Now, on my tank, everything works except for 3 things. One big one, I guess. The camera, I didn't even know it comes with a camera, but the camera doesn't work on my one. Don't really need it because obviously you can look at it to see where it's going, but the camera was one thing that I've parked for a minute. The front lights, for some reason, the blinky lights, like the indicators, work, but the headlights don't, even when I press the button. Don't know why that is, and I'll go into that in a second. And the big one is that the turret, the barrel of the gun goes up and down, no problems, but the turret doesn't turn. Everything else works. Its steamers work. The tracks goes forwards, backs, left, right. It fires. It's got a laser beam coming out of it. It's all cool. I did check the motors. They're all working. I checked the lights. They're all working. And I checked the, there was one other thing. Motors, lights, and the camera. I checked that I've got a circuit in the camera and that's working. So the only thing it can be is the circuit board. So I've ordered another circuit board and hopefully by replacing that it will work. But at least you're going to get an idea of a working tank. So that video is about 25 minutes tomorrow, just so you know. But I do have it going around the garden, and it is quite funny because when Phoebe goes to investigate, it looks like there's a standoff between like a 30-foot dog and a Leopard 2A6 tank, which is quite cool. Richard, I did the static grass applicator I used on my ET model there. But for chairs, you just want little fine flocky. You don't want to be using static grass for that. It's just so fine. For the hair, it might work, though. It'd have to be really long. Really long. Tamiya makes a clear gloss, but is it as good as Top Coat for Now varnish, Lou? And is it as cheap as that? Because obviously I don't pay for it. I just rummage around Mrs. Welder Wayne's makeup drawer and I just pick out what I want. So I originally used it for the Iron Man because obviously some of these joints were really, why am I doing this? You know what, I'm very, I like to show actions. His joint was like that. So I put loads of clear coat on his joint here and obviously it thickens it up so it's not so bad. So I can now style my Iron Man. But tonight is Chat Thursday, so I'm just going through the chat and reading what I can. If I have missed a comment, I apologise for that. I do have 2 chat streams on here, but I'm bound to miss something, so I do apologise. Michael Renfrew, I will get to your comment in a second. I promise. Someone's called Count Duckula. I'll have to see the chat stream that I've got over here is quicker than the one I've got here, so that's why things get a little bit confusing. The mechanical car build is brilliant, Ross. I really am enjoying that. And it's partly the reason why I'm doing live streams every Tuesday. Normally I do them every alternate Tuesday. But I am really enjoying it. The engine's actually done. And just so you know, after that stream on Tuesday, I tested it. And it works perfectly. So much so that it won't let you put the car into... you can't drive the car until you put it into drive. So if it's in park, it won't let you. So put it into drive, and when you press the accelerator pedal, it's a slow acceleration. It doesn't just go fast, it's slow, and then it gets up to speed. You've got your brake pedal. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, should you just get rid of your wooden Titanic? I wouldn't yet, Count Duck. You know, it's still early days yet, because obviously there's a lot of legalities that they're having to sort out. about licenses, distribution and everything like that, I'd say I wouldn't even think about getting rid of anything this side of Christmas. I'd wait till after Christmas, to be honest with you. I didn't, Ian. I haven't, because of the leopard tank, so I am going to do that next week. I understand that we've got a dinner date coming up. Mrs. Welder Wayne's gave my diary, so I'm going to try and have it done for that, so I can bring it with me. But there isn't too much to do, I think. I say that, but then I've still got all the dials to do at the top. I've still got to do all the wires coming from those dials. I've got all the glazing to do, the headlights and all of that. So, and then obviously all the armor. So, but it's coming. It's coming. Just while we're on there, Ian, over at Partwork Upgrades, he's running a giveaway. It's not, yeah, it's a giveaway. It is a giveaway, isn't it? For September, and we are now on the 1st of September. So let me click on this on the Partwork Upgrades site, and he's doing a giveaway for a Photon Mono 4X Anycubic resin printer there. Now, to get that, there is actually a runner-up prize there as well, a £50 Amazon gift voucher. All you need to do is place an order with us in September to the value of £25 or above, excluding postage and packing. Subscribe to the Facebook group and subscribe to the YouTube page. If you do that on partworkupgrades.com, you'll be entered into this draw, and it is worldwide. But he did say if they can't deliver it for any reason, they'll sort something out. You can win yourself a resin printer. How cool is that? Now, I've got my resin printer under here. It isn't getting as much use as it really should. I did see that young Phil over at Sprueverse has got a new toy. The same toy that Lou's got in his workshop. And now I'm insanely jealous. Oh, no problems, Paul. No problems at all. When will you finish the Bismarck? Oh, how long's a piece of string? How long's a piece of rigging, Phil? Am I looking forward to the next installment of the fire truck? I am. I think I've had that delivered today, actually, Keith. I don't know when I'm going to be doing it. But what are we on? We're on box 7 now, so that'll be the next one to come. The recoil works. Yep. Icarus recoil works. No problems at all. Putting the tracks on. I'm doing that in the video that you'll see tomorrow, Lou. They go on. Someone did suggest that I should have 81 tracks, not 79. I can guarantee to you it needs to be 79 tracks, not 81. Definitely 79. Thank you, Michael Renfrew. But the coil works. It's quite good because they give you a target. I didn't know it was a target at the time, so I'm putting something together, having no idea what it is. And what it is, it's like a shooting target for your tank. So when you shoot it, a laser comes out, reaches a sensor, lights flash, and you get an explosion noise from this thing. And you'll see on the video that I try and do it, but my turret's not aiming at the sensor. So I adjust the, what is this, the barrel? Yeah, I adjust the barrel and I fire it, and you'll see it flashing and all of that. It's pretty clever, it is. I did have a lot of fun with it in the garden today, I have to say. No, the tracks went on today. So, yeah, all fun. But we had completed the tracks, remember. I had already had 81 little individual links on the tracks. I had to break 2 off, which wasn't as hard as I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a lot harder. Something we do have to do in box 12, though, is all of the road wheels are on a sort of like a circular spring. I had to change all of them out. They gave us stronger springs, so that took a little bit of a while. So, no news on the Fan Home Falcon, Stephen, but I do understand, I think that's come out in France now. Definitely another country. I'm more interested in, there's a trial part work, which went into stores on August the 30th, the Lancaster Bomber. This isn't the wooden Hachette Lancaster Bomber. This is something different. Now, I do have a contact who gets me all the trials and stuff. That's how I managed to get hold of them. And it never arrived. So I don't know if that arrived anywhere. I've done my usual thing where I translate Lancaster Bomber into Chinese and then do a Google search for it. That's how I normally look. Nothing on there either. So something's out there. And if anyone sees it or has got any information about that, please email me or let me know, because I'm interested in that. I've got no interest in building anything wooden at the moment. I seem to be very bad luck with wooden things. I mean, you've seen the Victory. You've seen what's happened with the Titanic. The Sovereign of the Seas, I haven't even started past what John Russell had done for me. So it's, yeah, I am cursed. Perhaps I should be building a cursed ship. the Black Pearl or something. Hello, Andrew. How's it going? Yes, I replaced the circuit board with the other one. Darren, it's not that circuit board that's got the problem. The circuit board, you've got quite a few circuit boards on it. One circuit board controls everything from the turret section and the top of the tank. One circuit board controls everything from the bottom section. And then the circuit board that we changed is all to do with charging and power. So it's not that. You've got pack 2 of Night. You know what? I haven't seen Knight Rider for ages, but saying that, it's always at the beginning of the month we get them. So Iron Man, Knight Rider, Fast and Furious Dodge Charger, and R2-D2. They should be coming soon. Hopefully. There we go, Mike. Mike, I couldn't say it better than myself. By the way, I'm drinking Oscar Wilde Ale tonight. So the literary beverage of Oscar Wilde, who knew he was a brewer, actually made in Malden. That's our neck of the woods, Mrs. Wildaway. So brewing in Essex since 1996. Very nice. What was I doing in 1996? Can't remember. Too far along. The Volvo, funny enough, Stephen, I'm going to be doing it Monday. So Monday, the Volvo is what you see underneath that sort of like tea towel there. And the rest of it's in boxes behind me. And what I said, I'm going to do that video completely unedited. So as things go wrong, you're going to have to sit through me struggling and panicking, just like I did for the live stream. I can't remember what stage we got onto. Was it 78 or something? But yeah, we're going to continue the Volvo stroke Skoda. Have I had any parts missing in any of the builds? Yes, I have. But most of the time I do manage to get hold of them, Philip. So, but most of the time, especially with things like the Ferrari, when I noticed some things like the badge was missing off the side, the badge came in issue 1. We had 2 of them, and I managed to keep 1. I don't know where the other one is at all. And it's only now we're at issue 100 that they said we need the one from issue 1. I don't know where it is. You've reached the halfway point. Oh, Roy, well, you've got the dome coming next. Issue 51's the dome. You're going to enjoy that. Get yourself those metal hex screws that are in my video description. You'll thank me. It saves a hell of a lot of time. Yep, Monday. Yes, in a few weeks, Chinese, Indian, whatever you fancy, we'll try and clear the table for us all to sit at. It's been taken over by sewing machines. Yeah, I hear you, Ian. Mrs. Wayne's bought one home from school today. So now she's got a sewing machine, an overlocking machine, a bread maker. I mean, a bread maker. The thing she comes home with, and now she's got a really old sewing machine. It used to be notepads. This is my lament. I should play the old love story music in the background, you know, da, 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 while I'm saying she's come home with a bread maker today. Hello, John Builds iconic military models. How's it going? I've just been watching your last few videos. I haven't really been watching much at all. I've been too busy myself, John. But John, I was going to do a video about burnout, because I suffered burnout the last few weeks before my holiday, and I think that can affect decisions. But it's a hard time. The summer is, and all of those feelings that you've heard about the channel and all that sort of disappear as Christmas approaches, and you'll get it again in January. If it's like me, if anything's like what I experience. So, but yeah, we'll have to chat offline or something, John. I'll give you my advice of coping with things like that. And some advice of how to improve views, hopefully. Email me. How large is it supposed to be? Absolutely no idea. I'm guessing, Jacob, it's a 132 scale like the wooden one was. But we'll have to see. How often does that happen? When you give you replacement parts for something that should have been stress tested before shipping in the first place. True. Doesn't happen that often, Lou. Normally, if there's one part missing, they tend to send out the whole pack to you. With Agora models, if you know what stage it is, they'll just send that stage out for you. But, I mean, I haven't had anything missing. I've had one thing broken. That was a lifter switch. But that got replaced straight away. I'm just trying to think if there is anything that I've had missing that I was just like, ugh. I think the Ferrari issue 71 that Ian, oh God, was it Ian Knights helped me out with it? I didn't have any parts for issue 71. They sent the magazine and no parts. Devmar Models Will's Workshop. He's a German YouTuber. He's actually built the Black Pearl. I believe that's on his channel as well. Does look good. You know what? Talking about the Ferrari, I was looking on eBay to see how much would it be, because you can't get it anymore, just to get stage 1 again. Because stage 1 was in the newsagents at $2.99. There must be thousands out there because it was a newsagents release. They're going on eBay for like £20 upwards each stage. And I think the highest I saw was £30. So they're like asking for £3,000. That Ferrari F40, £3,000. That's ridiculous. Who would pay that? Crazy. Hello, brother. 1996, I was working at Blockbusters all the way to 2000. We were probably drunk, that means. That's probably why I don't remember much. How the devil are you? I've just spent the last weekend with my Russell here, who was on the channel a few weeks ago, with his brother, Insomnia, which was all fun. We enjoyed that. 1996, best year. I can't even remember what I was doing. Oh, bless. Since our electricity is rocketing for the moment, I do not dare use money on models. Funny you should say that. We've got like a pay meter here for the electric, so I don't have to worry about bills coming and stuff. But I used to spend £15 a week on electric, and now I'm spending just over £30 a week without using anything extra. So, yeah, the cost of energy here is ridiculous. And they're saying it's going up again next month. Go figure. No, that was the following year, Mrs. Welderwayne. You're going to get people saying now, what do you mean your first wife? Isn't Mrs. Welderwayne my first wife? Third time's lucky for me. Oh, bless. Hello from the USA, watching you and working on Optimus Prime. What Optimus Prime are you working on, Firefly? That's the model one you've been sending me, isn't it? Yes. Yes. I'm hoping we might get an announcement from Agora Models on a completely unrelated note soon. We'll have to see. Best Pogo friends in 3 days. Wayne, lucky egg. I didn't... Yes. You're right. I will drop a lucky egg. I will... I'll have to email you. We'll figure something out. Someone did something really clever, Datehole. We're talking Pokemon now, just so you know. They changed the name of their pet and sent me a gift. And their pet's name was Open Now. So that's how I knew to open it. But I've got about 5 people at the moment who are waiting to be best friends, who just are holding off. They're not doing anything. I normally, after a month, I get sick and tired of it and just delete them. You're just lucky Mrs. W brings home the bacon. She does. She brings home the sausages, the bacon, everything. You know I'm lost without Mrs. Welderwayne, Lou. You've seen me. I'll just be off chasing fireflies and hummingbirds if it wasn't for Mrs. Welderwayne. Alfred, no, I don't regret doing it at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, it looks really good. But when I was doing it, I had that nagging feeling in the back of my head that even if I do this, there's going to be no way to attach this saucer to the battle station. And which is why I stopped building it completely, because I figured I'm going to have to put some sort of steel rod and either weld it in or clamp it in or whatever to hold the weight to the battle deck. Now, the video that's on the Nexus channel showing it clipping in, I don't believe that for a second. That's not the metal one either. That's just an ABS one. So, I didn't want to go to all the work of filling all those windows and do it, only to realise it's just going to rest on top, which I think was going to happen. I think it was going to be slotting in, and they would have either had a second stand holding that saucer section. I don't know. I don't know. Your dad had a bread maker. The problem with a bread maker, Mike, because I used to have one, is that by the time you've done all the got all the ingredients and you've made the bread, and you can probably make about 7 with the ingredients you've got, you've probably paid about 10 times the amount it costs to buy bread from the supermarket. Here she goes. Look, I got given an antique sewing machine. I wasn't going to say no. Will look great when I get my sewing room. All good Rascals hobbies. In the next lot of fan home Knight Rider build, issues 39, 40, 41, 42, we get the Knight Rider Comlink watch to make and build. Really? God, I did see something about car. We're supposed to be getting a little car, but I think we've got an actual little tiny 132 scale or something Knight Rider car. I could be wrong. I don't know. We've only brought it. Ian, have you seen that? You know, when I mention more things going into that room, I get the blinks. I try not to go in there. It's hard at the moment because we've got the kids for the second half of the holiday, which is why we've all managed to go to the Insomnia Gaming Festival, which is why it impedes what I can actually do this week because I'm looking after the kids. Funny enough, tomorrow I'm actually getting these glasses sorted out, and I am going for we call them varifocals. I don't know what they call them in America. Lou told me yesterday. But I'm sick and tired of having to keep taking my glasses off and on for looking at distance and looking at close up. And I've got 3 distance ranges. I've got arm's length, which is the computer screen, half my arm's length, which is my build area, and then obviously full distance. So I'm just going to tell that to the optician tomorrow and let him sort it out. And then on Tuesday, I've got a dentist appointment, which will be my first dental appointment in 13 years. So that's going to be an interesting visit. So if there is no stream on Tuesday because I'm all over the place, then we'll have to see. Kit's been delayed for, I can believe that. Well, isn't there, Robert Beveridge, are you in here tonight? Have you got another strike planned? Can you say happy birthday to Shane on Sunday? Thank you. Shane, happy birthday for Sunday. Have I got my little, look, I have, look at that. Happy birthday for Sunday, Shane. I've got my little asset here. I thought I'd lost all my assets. Excellent. Happy birthday for Sunday. She's definitely having it Christmas present. Well, I haven't got a say, Ian. So. Too many scalpers on eBay. You're not kidding, Anthony. And it's not just that Ferrari. It's everything. Especially now Eagle Moss has gone. Anything to do with DeLorean, Ecto 1, it's just gone through the roof. And I do wonder if it's people either trying to complete their model or it's people trying to actually make the model. Hopefully the people that are trying to complete, because you're never going to make... How are you going to get hold of 141 copies of the Ecto 1? Bearing in mind the last copies haven't even been released. So Lancaster is a mystery. It is. I've been doing as much research as I can, Neil, and I can't find anything. You see, I looked at Newsstand as well. I think that's where you took the clipping from, Neil. But then I went over to PCT over in China, nothing. Because IXO part of that, nothing. I can't find anything about it. So, who's getting married? Are you getting married? I'm at a wedding on Saturday, Andrew. Not mine. My niece's. Issue 90 of the X-Wing. You're missing that, and it's on eBay for £89. Oh my God, John. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the X-Wing and the Millennium Falcon again soon. I'm wondering when the R2 finishes, if that gets replaced by another Star Wars brand. It'll be interesting. You've had so many parts missing or broken. I haven't had that many, Gary, to be honest with you. Actually broken. I'm just trying to think. No, I mean, most of the time, if something's broken, I've done it myself. Because I'm just so clumsy. Well, the R2-D2, there's one. The circuit board for the leg, that was faulty. You know, the sensor. Just have a look at all my models. The ramp on my Millennium Falcon, that had an issue, but they replaced that straight away. And the DeLorean, well, that's still got problems now. It's all good here, Silvestri. Are you doing the GT? I am. As a matter of fact, if you've seen my header card on my YouTube channel, I put all the new builds on there. So we have got the Ford GT, we have got the Batman Tumbler, and another one, which was It'll come to me. Oh, the Rossi, Valentino Rossi's bike. Finally, I've done 3 packs of that before. I'm actually going to get to do that completely. So, no, believe it or not, Chip, my dad is still in hospital. And we still don't know what's happening. No idea at all at the moment. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen him for a good week at the moment. So, hopefully we'll find out this week what's going on. Well, was I addicted to wedding cake? I think I was. You know what? I've got the. If anyone's a Friends fan, I compete with Ross from Friends. I'm just like a wife collector. But Mrs. Welder-Wayne says, "Well, you can stop collecting now." And she gives me that look where she'll purse her lips together and she'll go like this. Lucky egg. Yeah. If we, Mike, in Pokemon, if I drop a lucky egg when Datehole gives me a gift and I open that gift, rather than get 100,000 XP, I get 200,000 XP. And you think I'm sad, but I'm telling you what, if you times my enthusiasm for Pokemon Go by 100, that's where Mrs. Welder-Wayne is. She's crazy for Pokemon Go. See what I mean? Chip Walker. It is causing a lot of stress at the moment. I'm trying not to think about it. Hopefully it will get solved soon. The truth comes out. Eaglemoss would rather fold their tents than admit the saucer wouldn't attach to the bow. Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand, Lou. Anyone could see. This is like zinc die-cast metal. Now, if you've ever used that, you can break it with your hand. So imagine that weight with 4 little things on that battle deck. It just wouldn't work. I know you can break it with hands because it's the same metal that was used in that wishbone joint right there on my DeLorean, which is completely snapped. So that is actually held in. There's a right bodge job going on underneath that, which is good why I never touch it again. But that wheel, if I was to lift that car up, would go like this. Yeah, Roy, you don't believe the video. No, it's an ABS prototype that wasn't the metal one. You can see the way he's holding it. Either that or he's incredibly strong. But that was another strange one for Eaglemoss. That they were talking when they had the Ecto 1 and this came out. Why am I slating Eaglemoss tonight? Seems to be my go-to at the moment. About Ecto 1, no decals or stickers to put on this build. And they even made a poster and put it up there. And then we turned out that we've got to put the decals on the door. And I'm sure we had to do some more decals for it as well. It wasn't just the logo ones. So, what was that all about? I just think that they see the model and just do what they need to sell it. And they don't proofread it. They don't check it through. It's a comedy of errors. I think that's their failure. And I'm sure that some of these employees who watch my stream now are probably cringing that I get now to say all of this. We do. It's the Comlink. To work the car on the builder. Really? Well, I'm going to look forward to that. It can be cheaper to make your own bread if time is not an issue for you. Unfortunately, most folk are over scheduled, so supermarkets around 7 p.m. to grab yourself a loaf for 10p. The thing is, once you've got the yeast and the flour and salt, I can't remember how to make bread. And then you stick it in there and it rolls around and it makes your house smell lovely and yeasty. And then the bread comes out and then you seem to find that it goes rock hard after a day. I've tried it. It just, I just prefer my Hovis. Good morning, Bergdis. Bergdis, come on. Yes, I'm trying not to think about that, David. Chris Hurst told me yesterday that, if I haven't been for 13 years, prepared to have a big wallet. I know about 2 wallets. Chris, would it be better or would it be presumptuous of me to go into the dentist and tell them what the issues are? Or should I let them discover that for themselves? I don't know. I haven't been to a dentist in 13 years. It is. There is ways to deal with it though, John. And you know what? Getting away sometimes is the key. But to get away and have a break like I've had now, because I've been away in the Isle of Wight, I had to really push myself to actually get content for when I'm away. So the ghost of me is making videos. But You know, the thing is, people say it's great when you do your hobby, but the problem is that if you're doing this every day, which I'm doing, it don't matter how much you like your hobby, it will turn into a job unless you successfully manage burnout. So I actually do my schedule, what I want to do when I want to do it, rather than I have to do this video today. I have to do this video today. And the reason I do that is then I schedule myself for the week, and having a schedule and a complete routine is what sort of grounds me. If I'm out of routine, I'm all over the place, and then I just stress big time. Mrs. Rhoda Wayne will tell you that. All it takes is something to knock my stride out in the morning when I'm building something, and I'm screwed for the week. Absolutely screwed for the week. That's just ridiculous. Some issues over £100 for the DeLorean. It would be crazy. No problem, Shane. It'd be crazy if that doesn't get picked up. People still want it. I'm miles behind with the chat. I am. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I keep rambling on, don't I? The bus is coming along lovely, but it's ginormous, you know. But I did check the electrics. You saw me do a little bit of checking at the end of the video, but I really went to town to make sure everything's working. Good evening, Phil. How's it going? How are you and your new airbrush and that lovely 8K resin printer? Ah. You need some glory shots of it, Phil. We only got the close up on the TikTok, and I didn't take any good pictures from Lou's workshop. You know, it could be the centerfold. The resin printer centerfolds. Hello, Carl. How's it going? Especially Knight Rider. Always looking forward to that one. I like the Knight Rider, but they have been delayed lately, but hopefully they'll be coming soon. Yes, true, M-Carp. Have you seen Phil's Space Shuttle videos? I haven't seen the latest video. I think it went up today. And Lou, I haven't seen your video as well. Oh, you're over in Oregon again. Oh, bless. Did you take your resin printer with you? You could. You could, couldn't you? Theoretically. And you could just have a print-a-thon while you're up there. That'd be excellent. The Rossi, I heard about that. Going to Fan Home rather than D'Agostino Collections was a bit of a surprise. Is that listed on Fan Home now? I'm just checking now. It is. Wow. Well, that's interesting because when I was asked to do the Rossi bike, I was asked to do the Ford GT as well by the same company. I know they are the same company, but it's weird that that's come up. You took a group of scouts to the Isle of Man as Pokemon Go took off. They spent half the trip looking for Pokemon. Well, what I did, Phil, talking about Pokemon, is back in 2016 when it came out in America first. And back then I could clone my phone to pretend I'm in America. Oh, my God. A spider just landed on my leg. That just freaked me out. That just freaked me out. So I was playing American Pokemon in England before I was actually playing England. You hear from a reliable source at CBS that Eagle Mustet is holding up relaunching the builds, but they are ready to launch. I could well believe it. They're 49 million or something they had, Phil. Terrible. Pokemon Go's more popular than you think. Where's Tarzan? I haven't got him yet. I've still been doing this back thing here. Look, I had to get rid of my light box, so I put the Thunder Road up here. But yeah, I do need a Tarzan somehow. Definitely. I do like changing things around. Obviously, this Super Bowl sign's going to stay up at the moment. Depends what sort of season we have next season. So, hello, Waynes from Waynesville. That never fails to please me, John. Can't believe there's a place called Waynesville. Yes. Another coin flip as whether or not the project's handled properly. Well, with Eagle Moss, you could guarantee that it wasn't going to be handled properly. They see the money. That's it. It was like, do you remember South Park had the way for profit equals steel underpants, something, profit. That was Eagle Moss. Just don't ask that. Is it safe? Only see a dentist at 2:30. I'm not looking forward to it because, I mean, when you have your initial assessment with a new dentist, are they just going to go to work straight away and start ripping my teeth out? Otherwise, well, you'll know if there's no live stream next Tuesday. Wait a minute. Lou, you're still in here. It's Thursday and you're still in here. How's that work? That was sent at like 8:35. Aren't you meant to be at dinner now? It's pitch black outside at the moment because obviously, you know, now we're in autumn. We're officially in autumn now in the UK and everywhere else, I guess. It's 20 to 9 at the moment and it's pitch black. Crazy. Your industry's in shambles with clients who are clearly clueless. Do I know there's a phone app? Is there? For my Fast and Furious build, you're doing to activate the car lights and engine. No, I wasn't aware of that. I'm going to have to check that as well. You heard your name as you're walking out the room to wash my Ashoka resin headprint. What I was saying, Chris, being a retired dentist, was would it be better, after I haven't seen a dentist for 13 years, if I tell the dentist what my problems are with my teeth, or should I just let them get on with it and discover them for themselves? I don't want to offend my new dentists, so... I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know what the proper social norm is for that. Hi, Ian. How's it going? What's not to like about... Well, Thursday streams always go off. I mean, we've started talking right at the start of the stream about the leopard tank, and now we're talking about dentists. So it's amazing how things go. No, they see what is to be done. And when you're laying down, they tell you the cost. Yeah, probably for the best. You can't, in fact, you can't know. Yeah, you can faint lying down, Chris. Believe me, I've done it loads of times in a dentist chair. They have to put the chair back so my head's down. But I am a professional fainter. So I know when I'm going to faint. Me and Mrs. Rhoda Wayne have got this thing where I'll be lying in a dentist chair like this. And I'll wiggle my finger like that. And that means that I'm about to sort of pass out, and I'll break out into the cold sweat, get really giddy, have a little moment, and then I'll break out in a mighty sweat, and then the dentist can get on with whatever they want to do. I'm fine after that. It's just that initial shock, I think. But yeah, professional fainter. Right? Yeah, you used to be able to clone it, Glenn. Date hold. Put your fingers over your ears for this. What you could do years ago was clone it. So I'd go to America, catch all the American Pokemon, and then whip back to this country. You have to wait 8 hours because their AI says, how's this guy got from Chicago to London in 5 minutes? So you got to give it time, and then he'll let you start catching Pokemon again. Before they obviously scrapped the ability for phones to do that, they would shadow ban you. So you'd get a pop-up on the screen warning you. But a lot of my American Pokemon, which you can just get now, I got from other means. No problem, Jason. Would rather tell them what's going on so they don't fully search them out. I'm used to being there with problems. Well, they're going to have to fully search anyway because they're not going to have my... I don't even know where my dental records are, Richard. Because I had one dentist, which was a Bupa dentist. Then I had another one. It's the same stuff. I mean, I don't know if this is the same in America and all that, but you have a dentist. The dentist retires. They can't find a replacement dentist for the practice. The only way they can get dentist in is to get private dentist in. So the books sort of get cut in half there. If you miss an appointment, they take you off the register. It's all over the place. And trying to get a dentist in the UK at the moment is a living nightmare. Absolute living nightmare. It's okay if you want to go private, but for an NHS dentist, the reason I want an NHS dentist is to get my whole family in on that, is a nightmare. So for me, I've actually got to go out of town. I've got to go to a place called Market Harborough, which is about, how many miles, Mrs. Rodaway? About 10 miles down the road. So that'll be a drive. Visiting any doctor requires you to explain your problems. It's not a detective game where the doctor is required to find out what your problems are. So show many, but not all problems. Well, I've only got 2 problems. But I think they both require my face being ripped apart. You can still spoof? I didn't know that. Ooh. And believe me, I've tried. You know what I think I wish they did keep? You remember the Pokemon targeter? So I can see what Pokemon are around the area. I wish they had that still. So I could go to the map and say, oh, I want that one. And then I would get up off my chair and go walk into that. So you're off to another appointment. Take care, Phil. See you later. As a dentist, we take an oath to treat all that needs to be treated. If the patient doesn't want treatment, then we let them go until the phone in acute pain. Yeah. Oh, that's okay then, because I'll just tell them what needs doing. I'm happy. But I don't know if I told you my story about my coronectomy, Chris. I had a wisdom tooth, causing pain. Dentist wanted to take it out. Took an x-ray, realised that the nerve in my face, whatever nerve this is, was going straight through the root of the tooth. So he was a bit nervous about doing that because he didn't want to paralyse my face. So he recommended something called a coronectomy. And there's me going, yeah, no problems at all. Whip the top of the crown of the tooth off, keep the roots in, sew the gum over the root. No problems at all. What I didn't realise was he meant now. I thought he meant, come back so I could psych myself up. No, now. Sat me in the chair, injections in, chiseling away at my tooth. And oh my God, how much pain was I in afterwards? It was a nightmare. I was on tramadol afterwards. It was that much pain. And that's one of the problems now because even though you've got roots and no crown, it doesn't mean the roots aren't going to still grow. And that's what happened. The roots have grown through my gum now. So look at this. Started with the leopard tank, talking about dentists, and now I'm telling you all my medical history. I blame Oscar Wilde. I hope you enjoy the leopard tank build tomorrow. I wanted to get a build done where you can actually see the completed model. And for all intents and purposes, everything you see on the tank is working. You don't see the tank and you don't see the turret turn. But you will see the thing going up and down and the tank doing 360s and all sorts of things. Hachette Partworks are doing the tumbler. You're probably going to see advertisements for that around about Christmas. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into the retail newsagents after Christmas. So when does Christmas fall this year? Does anyone know? Stand by. Where's my calendar? Christmas now this year falls on... Well, Christmas falls on a Sunday, so I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing adverts on Boxing Day and it will be in the stores on the 27th, I reckon. That's how they used to do it. I don't know if they still are. Yep, done hundreds. Now it's best as it says missed appointments. Hello, Wayne Brickles. How's it going? December 25th. Oh, look, we got the Jokers in tonight, haven't we? Hey, look, Christmas Day falls on a Sunday. That means in the UK we get an extra bank holiday. So we've got the Boxing Day on the Monday and then the Christmas bank holiday on the Tuesday. So we don't have to do any work until the Wednesday. We will be having a Christmas quiz again this year at Mrs. World of Wayne. No idea what that's going to take. Some people found it really hard last year, so I might make it a little bit easier this year. We'll have to have a discussion about what sort of quiz categories we're going to have. MCART, we were just talking about it earlier on. The next video for that is going to be out on Monday. So I'm just going to do what I was doing. I'm going to get the packs in front of me, get all the screws laid out, and just continue as if I was doing a live stream. No editing. And then we'll see how far we get. And there we go. What's a bank holiday? You're retired. A bank holiday is a day when you don't get no post. The telly's kind of good. And there used to be a day when shops never used to open as well. Do you remember that? Do you remember half day closing on a Wednesday? And do you remember John Lewis never used to open Monday, wasn't it? I don't think they used to open on Monday. Oh. When I start getting to that stage... Yo, you know what? I've got to tell you this. This was funny. Insomnia Gaming Festival. Obviously, I do YouTube and I do meet... I met Matthew Ferguson. If you're watching tonight, I met you at the Insomnia Gaming Festival. Influencers. They had influencers and YouTubes there. And I've never experienced it until... the Insomnia Gaming Festival. This was crazy. You had a YouTuber who was streaming himself playing a game. Fair enough, to the world. So there's thousands of people watching him. But that YouTuber influencer was taking a picture of himself streaming himself playing the game. And then he had a friend taking a picture of him taking a picture of himself streaming the game. And I'm just standing there like this. And then there was another guy that we bumped into. He was in the Hollywood Bowl. He was walking around. Take care, Russell. He was walking around with a camera over his shoulder, pointing at him, and he had an iPad on some sort of watch on his wrist, ginormous, not a little iPad, a big one, and he was just going about his daily things, talking to the camera, looking at chat with this robotic camera looking at him. I was like, wow. So if I ever get like that, please shoot me. You didn't particularly like your last dentist. Needed to have a few teeth removed, had 4 appointments, wasn't told when it would happen when. Oh no, my dentist had such a great, he was Spanish, my dentist was, my old one. I tried to do an impression of him, but he was very jolly, overly jolly. He's like, we're going to take some teeth out now, yay! Okay. I've got to wait for them to come, David. I haven't received anything from Fan Home yet. Normally they come at the beginning of the month. So, oh, Matthew, you're here. Nice meeting you, Matthew. We had a good insomnia. It was great. And I'll be back again in April and the following August. Aaron, I did the trial for the Apollo 11 lunar lander because there was a part where build for it through D'Agostini, but it never happened. You know what, Lou? That is the exact term I used. He looked like a Borg, just having this arm strapped to himself. And I think that's what's going to happen soon. I think, you know, forget your GoPros on your head. You're going to have something clamped on your eye like this with a camera on it. So you can, everywhere you look, you're filming, streaming, live stream. And then you will have chat in like a Predator type-esque sort of like control panel on your wrist. Someone should be inventing this now. You're going to make a killing. Absolute killing. Ian, get on Tinkercad. I need some designs. We could call it the all-in-one social media experience, where you slot parts to yourself so you can stream yourself to the world. Wasn't Google Glass meant to do that? They were. I mean, they cancelled that, didn't they? But that was more like a what do they call it? What's the displays? IUD display? What's the interface display pilots have? That's more like what that was. And it was supposed to be subtle. Look, I can say the word subtle now. Yeah, it's supposed to be like, you know, subtle, that you can actually see a heads-up display. HUI, oh, I don't know what it's called. Heads-up display through your glasses. But I'm talking, no. People need to know what you're doing, so have great big bionics on your face. That's what you need. What strength is that beer tonight? I'm starting to wonder. It says 3.7, Robert, but I think it's more. It is heads-up display. I thought I was second-guessing myself. The all-in-one social media experience, my ego was. It costs about £200 a day to run surgeries these days. Every cost is borne by the dentist. That's why we charge what we do. Yeah, no, I can understand. I can definitely understand. I think the problem is, though, there isn't enough dentists to go around at the moment now, Chris. That's what it seems like. Because a lot of the dentist surgeries that were NHS are now just switching to private. And those patients, you either pay or you go find another dentist. Now, I was under the impression that the Primary Healthcare Trust, if you can't find a dentist, can force dentists to take you on if there's not enough in your catchment area. You saw those streaming rigs back at TwitchCon. I'd never seen them before, Bergdis, and my face was like, I couldn't believe this guy was walking around with this robotic arm staring at himself. And he was just sitting there having a day, talking to his mates, but then talking to this camera all the time, looking at this iPad on his wrist. Crazy stuff. I've heard they don't pay too well. We need a new government. That's probably what we need. About 2 to 3 feet south of your eyes. Oh, bless. Do you think YouTube is really trying to push YouTube Shorts now, Wayne? Everyone's been trying to do the Shorts market, John, because you've got TikTok. TikTok, obviously Vine was the original incarnation of it. Then it reincarnated into TikTok. Then because TikTok's so successful, everyone seems to be watching it. That's why I've got a TikTok account now. But then you've got Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. They took over from that. And then YouTube want to do their version, which is YouTube Shorts. Now, monetizing YouTube Shorts is pretty much impossible. So what they do is they take a nest egg of funds and then they generate funds to people just based on views. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get any of that funds, to be honest with you, normally for the big creators. The only reason you'd want to use YouTube Shorts is to bring people to the channel, because just like TikTok and all that, people are just swiping, and there is the chance that it can actually be viewed. As a matter of fact, my War of the Worlds there, let's have a look at this. I put that on TikTok. Now, I've got 2 massive videos on TikTok at the moment. I've got the Knife Angel that was in Corby's, had 400,000 views. But the what's it called? The War Machine there, I don't know if you can see that, has had 35.9 thousand views. So that's 35,900 people who wouldn't have otherwise known about the World of Wayne channel. So that's what I use it for, rather than for a monetizing thing. But all good. You hate shorts. The problem is with shorts, I don't know if you notice it, on Instagram, you might look at one and then you get lost in them because you think you're looking at people's Instagrams, but you're not. You're looking at people's... You found yourself trapped in the reels. But, oh, it's all fun. YouTube's more adverts than content. Yeah, I agree, Robert. I went for a stage of trying to control the adverts on the channel, because some of them, especially on my really long builds, were doing an advert every 5 minutes. And it's just a nightmare trying to manage it. So in the end, I just let them get on with it now. That's exactly why it's so successful, Lou. We are in the goldfish generation. Instant gratification with the attention span of a goldfish. 15 seconds is probably about the limit. That's why I think TikTok does so well. Because those 15 seconds of dopamine that you've got from watching a video. In my 34 years, you saw 7 governments come and go. No one paid us enough, hence I went private in 92. I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all. I don't think it's ever going to change though, Chris. Yeah, Mrs. World of Wayne just keeps sending me TikToks and reels of dogs. She at the most inappropriate times of night. At 3 o'clock in the morning, she can't sleep. She just send me a little video of a dog doing something stupid. You can pay dear money for a commerce-free YouTube. You can. That's a YouTube Red, is it? Or YouTube Premium? Do you remember Blipverts? I don't. What were Blipverts? Is that the same sort of thing? No, we should be starting to see new issues, Silvestri, in the next... where are we? We're in September, so probably from next week. You might start getting notifications. Yep, 15 seconds. That's how they get you, Wills. Will's Workshop. That's how they get you. You watch a couple, and they know what you like. They know all about you just from your viewing habits. So they just push that content on you, and they know you're going to scroll. The longer they can keep you on there, the better. Yeah, no, it has. I don't think there's a choice of doing that either, John. So sometimes you'll get the unskippable ads, the 5-second ads, the skip ads, but if there is a way to change that, I haven't got a clue how to. I try not to get involved in that side of it now, because I just end up cocking all the whole video up normally. Ah, Max Headroom show. Now, I don't know if Phil's going to watch this on catch up, but I'm sure Phil had something to do with Max Headroom. I'm positive he did. Take care, Helder. Everyone's gone to Ask Jeeves. Oh, you got your Rossi bike today? I was under the impression that's coming out the end of the month, Graham. That means mine's on the way too. Oh, wow. So we're going to be starting that a lot earlier than normal. And there's been no news, Mark, about the Enterprise. And as soon as there is, I will post that on social media and the channel. But there you go. If you see one more Tom Brady Hertz rent-a-car commercial, you're going insane. Apparently, on the Patreon stream last night, Mrs. World of Wayne said when I signed off, it started playing some Bible adverts. I don't know how it picks adverts either, so I haven't got a clue. That's insulted the goldfish. Yes, you're absolutely right. It was proven on Mythbusters. Yeah, no, I've tried to do the mid-rolls, but when you start mucking around with them, Roy, it really throws the analytics of your video completely out the window. I know that because I tried to actually do something when I did that 24-hour live stream, and it just completely screwed up. And no, nothing. The alien model build's still in France at the moment, CH. But Nexus, Kevin Clifford over at the Nexus, he's still building his. He's getting his imported into the UK. It's 9 o'clock. That's gone quick. And I've actually almost finished my ale tonight. And I'm still able to say the word ale. So tomorrow, as I said, we're going to have the Leopard tank. That's going to be out in the morning. And then the next video is back on Monday. Back to normal programming. Should be a video every day next week. And we're going to be live streaming at the same time next week as well. So take care of yourselves. And I will see you next week. Bye.